What is up guys, you're very welcome to this very special wolf update video here on Degenerate Watch. Thank you very much for joining me. Well, finally we have our very first wolf update video, our much anticipated wolf update video, and I want to apologise first off to everybody that's been asking me over the last while for updates on the wolves and I just hadn't got around to it. But I'm hoping in this video to bring everybody up to speed, starting from when we first started the wolf adoption all the way up until the present day. And hopefully by the end of it you have a better picture of what's been going on and a better picture of what we'll be doing going forward. I'm also planning on doing a wolf Q&A live stream, so if anybody has any questions that aren't answered in this video, and if I'm able to answer them, I will do there. I'll have more details about that towards the end of the video. And just for the sake of full disclosure before we start, I'd just like to warn you guys that this video is a bit bittersweet. So now guys, let's take a look at our wolf adoption journey here on Degenerate Watch. Our story begins just over a year ago, back in the summer of 2021. We were in the middle of a lockdown here in Ireland, and because the zoo had to close its doors and they weren't getting any money through the door, they were finding it extremely hard to find the €500,000 it costs a month to feed the 400 animals there. The zoo started a campaign called Save Dublin Zoo and issued an appeal to the general public to do what they could in terms of sending donations, buying merchandise or adopting animals in order to help the zoo get through this hard time. Now, being someone who had very fond memories of being in that zoo as a child and also being a lover of the zoo as an adult, and I also respect the work to do in terms of conservation and raising awareness about endangered species. It was always the intention when I started the channel that if we could, we'd give a little bit back, and I thought that this would be a perfect fit as a lot of the subscribers to the channel were actually animal lovers themselves. When I headed over to their website to see what ways we could help support them, I seen that you could actually adopt a wolf. So with the channel's mascot being a wolf and the fact that I like wolves, I thought that it'd be a perfect fit. So I went ahead and I adopted a grey wolf on behalf of the channel. Some of the longer time subscribers will remember that back then I actually made a video announcing the fact that we had adopted a wolf, and I'll leave a link to that down below in the description for anyone that wants to check it out. The plan was to keep you guys informed on what was happening with the pack of wolves at Dublin Zoo, but things didn't quite work out the way I planned. The way this particular adoption works is you adopt the animal and then you get an acknowledgement of your adoption, which is the certificate that I got. And that's basically it then until next year if you decide to renew your adoption. What my plan was is to keep an eye on their social media pages, and anytime there was an update about the wolves that I was going to bring it to you guys in a little video. Now, as you can imagine, with the amount of animals at Dublin Zoo, over 400, and the fact that they have many other events and projects and stuff going on, that they are posting about many different things, and in terms of fairness they can't always post about the wolves. Another thought I had was to maybe email the zoo and ask was there any news on the wolves or what had happened with the wolves over the last couple of months, but I realised that on an ongoing basis that wasn't going to be practical. I had come across one thing that I thought you guys might find interesting, was when a couple of the wolves tried to escape from Dublin Zoo by digging a tunnel underneath their enclosure. Now, that clip was from a show called The Zoo, which covers what goes on in Dublin Zoo, and it's for the state broadcaster RTE, and anytime I tried to upload it, it was getting copyright claimed, so I eventually gave up on that. Now, I may try post that little clip over on my blog on Coffee. I might be able to get away with that over there, so if I do get to do that, I'll leave a post on the community page and I'll let you guys know. So with information thin on the ground on social media, and also RTE trying to stifle my efforts to bring you guys that little clip, I was running out of options. Now, I still wanted to continue our support for Dublin Zoo, but I also was looking at other ways that we could maybe adopt another wolf where we could get regular updates and maybe we could find out a little bit more information. I took my search to the United States to look for somewhere that we could adopt a wolf, mainly for the fact as Dublin Zoo is here in Ireland and a lot of my viewers are in the United States, so I thought it'd be nice to support something in the United States which is a little bit closer to home for them, and it would be nice in the future to support a few more causes in different places around the world. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but it's a nice little thing to aim for maybe down the road someday. But until then, we'll just keep moving forward and do whatever little bit we can to help out. While scouting the internet for a new wolf for us to adopt, I stumbled across the Wolf Conservation Centre in South Salem, New York, and so after doing some research and reading up a little bit more about the organisation, I knew this was the one for us. The Wolf Conservation Centre teaches people about wolves, their relationship to the environment and the human role in protecting their future. The Wolf Conservation Centre was founded by Alain Grimaud in 1999. The Wolf Conservation Centre is a not-for-profit environmental education organisation working to protect and preserve wolves in North America through science-based education, advocacy and participation in federal recovery and release programmes for two critically endangered wolf species, the Mexican grey wolf and red wolf. The Wolf Conservation Centre's 3 ambassador wolves reside on exhibit where they'd help teach the public about wolves and their vital role in the environment. Through wolves, the Wolf Conservation Centre teaches the broader message of conservation, ecological balance and personal responsibility for improved human stewardship of our world. To best prepare the critically endangered wolves who are candidates for wild release, the centre's 21 Mexican grey wolves and 10 red wolves reside off exhibit within the centre's endangered species facility. The centre participates in the Federal Species Survival Plan recovery programmes for the Mexican grey wolf and the red wolf, two of the rarest mammals in North America. Both species at one time were completely extinct in the wild. Since 2003, the Wolf Conservation Centre has played a critical role in preserving and protecting these imperiled species through carefully managed breeding and reintroduction. To date, the Wolf Conservation Centre remains one of the 3 largest holding facilities for these rare species, and 7 wolves from the centre have been given the extraordinary opportunity to resume their rightful place on the wild landscape. I'll leave a link down below in the description to the section on the Wolf Conservation Centre's website where you can actually check out more information about the wolves that have been released back into the wild. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to a video by the Wolf Conservation Centre where you can find out a little bit more about what they do there. So as you can probably tell, I was well impressed by the organisation and the hard work that they're putting in order to protect and promote wolves. Now I do want to talk a little bit more about the benefits of this sponsorship, but what I do want to say before I go any further is that I have sponsored the wolves at Dublin Zoo for another year, so I'm still going to continue to do that. And I'm also hoping to actually visit Dublin Zoo sometime very soon, so I'll have a bit of content for you guys in relation to that. Now I'd like to quickly run over some of the benefits of this adoption. As I've already mentioned, I was looking for something that gives us a lot more in-depth information into what's going on in the lives of the wolves. And we'll definitely get that with the Wolf Conservation Centre, as they will send me regular updates on what's happening not only in the centre as a whole, but also with the specific wolf that we've adopted. And I'll get more into that a little bit later on in the video. The centre is also very active on social media and update their website regularly. They also have some live webcams on their website where you can go out and check out what the wolves are doing in real time. They also host many events and programs, including online events and also events at the centre itself. One event that they host at the centre that I thought was very interesting is called Sleeping with Wolves, and it's a chance to camp out overnight with 30 plus wolves at the centre, so that'll be a great experience for anyone that's interested in wolves. They also have educational workshops such as the Wolves of North America, where you can learn about the methodology, biology and ecology of wolf families and discover why it's a special time for packs in North America. They also host a 5-day summer wolf camp for kids, so plenty of events and stuff to check out, so definitely have a look at their website and check out their programme of events. I had decided to adopt one of the ambassador wolves at the centre because if anybody does ever get the opportunity to visit the centre, then you'll actually see the wolf that we've adopted. Now I know not all you guys are going to be able to make it to South Salem in New York, but it's just something to think about if you ever happen to be in the area and you want something interesting to do. But one thing I will add there is that if you are thinking of making a visit to the place, definitely pre-book into a programme, as they don't unfortunately accept walk-in visits. But if you can't make it there, as I mentioned earlier, there are webcams, so you can still check in on what the wolves are getting up to, and I'll leave a link to those down below in the description. Another thing that came out of this adoption was our new channel mascot. Now some of you guys may be already familiar with this little guy from an Instagram post I put up, and also I posted about it on the community page. But this little guy is going to accompany me on some of my travels, and you'll see more of him on Instagram and on the community tab. Now the wolf doesn't have a name as of yet, but I'll get more into that later on. The 3 ambassador wolves at the centre are Nakai, Alawa and Zephyr, and I actually thought that choosing a wolf for us to adopt would be the hard part, but it actually turned out to be quite easy. But when I first saw Zephyr, I knew he'd be the guy for us, as he bears a striking resemblance to our channel logo. Zephyr was born on the 20th of April 2011 along with littermaid Alawa. They both arrived at the Wolf Conservation Centre on the 27th of May that year. The other ambassador wolf, Nakai, is actually their younger brother, who was born in April 2014. Zephyr is a Mexican grey wolf with gold eyes and weighs 81 21 pounds or very close to 37 kilograms, and he is the self-appointed leader of the family. So I decided to go ahead and adopt Zephyr, and as you can see here, this is the certificate of adoption we received hanging up in Degenerate Watch headquarters. We also received this stunning photograph from the Wolf Conservation Centre of Zephyr howling in the rain, which I'm yet to find a frame for. We also received a letter along with our adoption pack which reads, "Dear Degenerate Watch, the staff and wolves at the Wolf Conservation Centre would like to extend our sincere thanks for your generous sponsorship of Zephyr. Every penny counts in the fight to save wolves and wilderness, and your donation will go towards extending the message of conservation. You are helping to keep our ambassador pack fed and cared for so that they can continue to teach visitors about the importance of wolves in the environment and spread the word that it's everybody's job to do something each day to make the world a better place. You are also helping to support our participation in the Species Survival Plan and Recovery Plan for critically endangered Mexican grey wolves and red wolves. These programs are returning Mexican grey wolves and red wolves to the wild, which is tremendously important. We are very grateful for your help. Please enjoy this photo of Zephyr and the other items in your adoption kit. Together we can help preserve wildlife for future generations. Sincerely yours, the Wolf Conservation Centre staff." So a nice little letter there, and I liked our message of doing something every day to make the world a better place. And it doesn't have to be something life-changing, it can be something as simple as wishing somebody a good day or showing someone that they're appreciated. It's just little acts of kindness go a long way. So as you can imagine, after adopting Zephyr, I was really excited to let you guys know about it, and I was already running through ideas of how I was going to announce it. And because people had quite recently at the time been asking me for updates on the wolves, I thought this would be a great video to make in order to share our good news. Now, it was the 28th of June that I adopted Zephyr, but I wanted to wait until the adoption pack arrived so I could make a proper video. I reckon that'd take about a week or a week and a half to arrive here, so a bit of time went by, and that brings us up to the 2nd of July, which was a Saturday. I went out that morning and got some groceries, and when I returned home to the house I decided that I'd check my emails. But I really was not expecting what was about to greet me in our inbox. I received a very sad email from the Wolf Conservation Centre. It read as follows: "Thank you Zephyr, we'll never stop loving you. Dear friends, it is with sorrow and heartbreak that we share news about the world's favourite wolf. Zephyr passed away today. He was 11 years old. He was euthanized early this morning due to complications from myasthenia gravis and was surrounded by those he held dear, his siblings, his human family and the many wild animals with whom he shared his life. Zephyr is a Greek word meaning light or west wind, and much as the west wind continues to blow and howl, so too will Zephyr's memory and passion for life. He connected millions of people to wolves, charismatically highlighting the loving, inquisitive and playful nature of his species, and served as the connector in his family as well. His close-knit relationship with Alawa, his littermate, and steadfast devotion to Nikai, his younger brother, allowed the family of three to grow and adapt to an ever-changing world as a united pack. Zephyr's greatest talent, however, was his ability to make everyone he met feel special and valued. His piercing amber stare and propensity for melodic howls forged a bond with a global audience that will never be broken and never should be. Much as the wind is sometimes quiet, sometimes forceful, but always present, so too is Zephyr's love. As an adopter of Zephyr, we hope you will continue to see him in the lives of his siblings. For the remainder of your adoption, you will receive updates on Alawa. Thank you so much for your support, the Wolf Conservation Centre family." So some terribly sad news contained in that email. Our poor friend Zephyr was gone before we even had a chance to get to know him. I really didn't know how I was going to tell you guys. I didn't want to tell you guys, but I couldn't not tell you guys, if you know what I mean. Of course, I'd always be open and transparent about what's going on. It's just I knew it was terribly sad news and that some people would probably be upset about it. But I guess there's no easy way to break bad news. Zephyr was euthanized in order to avoid him having any additional suffering. Myasthenia gravis is a chronic autoimmune neuromuscular disease that causes weakness in the skeletal muscles and worsens after a period of activity or exertion. Animals with this condition can exhibit extreme weakness and excessive fatigue. It can affect muscles all over the body, including those in the eyes and those involved in chewing and swallowing. I'm pretty sure everyone here will agree that no animal at all should go through any sort of suffering, and that condition sounds like a particularly nasty and progressive one. I'm only surmising here, but perhaps if I had gotten to the stage where he wasn't able to chew or swallow his food properly, or maybe he wasn't able to get up and exercise without getting extremely fatigued, then that was going to have a deteriorating effect on his health going forward. Those who cared for Zephyr at the Wolf Conservation Centre definitely wouldn't have taken this decision lightly. It was made with the best interests of Zephyr's welfare at heart. In his 11 years here on Earth, Zephyr educated thousands and touched the lives of millions, and his memory will always live on through his siblings and the good work being done at the Wolf Conservation Centre. As mentioned in the email that we received, for the rest of our adoption we'll be receiving email updates on Zephyr's littermate and sister Alawa. I'd imagine because they were so united and close-knit and had spent so much time together that it's hard on both Alawa and Nakai after the loss of Zephyr. And as soon as I get some updates on Alawa, I'll make a video and let you guys know about it. But until then, here's a little bit more information about Alawa. Alawa, like Zephyr, was born on the 20th of April 2011 and arrived at the Wolf Conservation Centre on the 27th of May that year. At first glance, Alawa comes across as dainty and demure compared to her rambunctious brothers. Although Zephyr was the self-appointed leader of the family, it's possible that Alawa holds the same position in the family, albeit covertly. She's mastered the art of avoiding conflict and securing what she wants to satisfy her needs. Among all the wolves residing at the Wolf Conservation Centre, Alawa wears the badge of laziest howler. Her Laziest Wolf Howls video series is guaranteed to make viewers smile, and definitely check that out. I'll leave a link down below in the description. But here's a little taster. She's expressing in sound what we all feel inside when the alarm goes off and we don't want to get out of bed. So Alawa seems like a colourful little character, and we're going to get to know her a little bit more over the next year. Hopefully that brings you guys up to speed on where we stand at the moment. And guys, I'm hoping that with your blessing to still continue to support Dublin Zoo and also to support the Wolf Conservation Centre when the time to renew the adoptions comes up next year. I'm really interested to know what you guys think about our wolf adoption journey so far and what you think about the way things panned out, so definitely let me know down below in the comments. The latest updates I have from the Wolf Conservation Centre relate to some newborn wolf pups, and they were born to Trumpet and Lighthawk. They've ventured out of their den full of spirit, and among their favourite activities so far are exploring outside the den, endlessly chasing after bugs, discovering the joy of afternoon naps and playing with their older siblings. The pups got their first health check on the 30th of June, and health checks are critical in the pups' first year of life, so their incredible volunteer vets come in 3 to 4 times throughout the year to perform checks on the pups, such as getting their weight and sex, overall health and administering vaccinations. There were 3 pups, but now there's only 2, as the centre is delighted to report they got an amazing opportunity to participate in another cross-foster. A cross-foster is when an organisation participating in the species survival plan is able to transfer a captive wolf pup into the den of a wild wolf who just recently had a litter of pups. The cross-foster must occur before the pup opens its eyes, so the team had to work quickly and efficiently to get her to a den location monitored via tracking collar by the US Fish and Wildlife Service. She was placed by their biologists into the den of the Craic pack located in New Mexico. This news is incredibly important for 2 reasons. It gives the opportunity for a captive pup to grow up wild, and it increases the genetic diversity of the Mexican grey wolves in the wild. Increased genes for wolves in the wild are important because it helps make sure the population is healthy and will thus likely have longer survival rates and healthier pups. In addition to the Wolf Conservation Centre's Mexican grey wolf pup being cross-fostered, 5 other institutions participated this year, bringing the total up to 11 pups introduced into the wild and placed into dens. The Wolf Conservation Centre's pup that was incorporated into our wild family has been affectionately nicknamed Crumbo after Kim Crumbo, who was an important conservationist. In addition to the successes for Mexican grey wolves, there was also exciting news for red wolves this season. 6 red wolf pups were born this spring to appear in the wild. These 6 wild pups actually have a connection to the Wolf Conservation Centre. One of their past red wolves, Ticket, is the grandfather of those pups born and also uncle to one of their current red wolves, Tyke. The centre also has additional ties to other red wolves currently living in the wild too. One of the red wolves, Tom, who used to live at the centre, was released into the St. Vincent National Wildlife Refuge in Florida. So as you see there guys, some absolutely fantastic work going on there at the Wolf Conservation Centre. And even though our contribution may only be small in the grand scheme of things, I'm absolutely delighted that we as a channel are able to support the great work that's going on there. And remember that none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for the generosity and support from all you guys in the Degenerate Watch community. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed our first wolf update video, a quite lengthy one, but I just wanted to make sure I provided as much information as possible. So hopefully now it's brought you up to speed on where we are with our wolf adoption. And if you have any additional questions that weren't answered in the video, don't forget to drop them in the comments down below. And as I mentioned earlier, I will be having a wolf Q&A live stream, and I'll include some of those questions that were asked in the comments down below in that as well. And of course, during the live stream, you'll be able to ask any other questions that you have in the live chat, and I'll try answer them if I can. More details about that live stream will be posted on the community tab and on our social media in the next few days. To make sure you don't miss out when that's happening, make sure you follow us over on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Links are down below in the description. And most importantly, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss a new video here on Degenerate Watch. And if you like what we do here and you'd like to help support the channel, don't forget to check out the links down below in the description where you can do just that. And as always guys, your support is very much thoroughly appreciated. Well guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day out there, and a big shout out to everyone that's watching this with me on the premiere. Thank you very much for coming. I'll be back very soon with another video guys. I hope you'll join me then. But to play us out for this video, let's have a little tribute to our friend Zephyr the Wolf. Until next time guys, stay safe, take care, peace.